Hi guys, I'm working on annual 2019 Taroscopes. They're actually lots of fun. They give you lots of insight about every single segment of your life. And it's kind of like divided by quarters. It's divided by section of your life. And it's going to be a really interesting guide. It was really well received last year. So now this is your time to get them one sign for 1995 or all signs. So you can check your ascendant, you can check your moon sign, you can check your friends, somebody that you're like having an eye on for $39.95. It is a really good time to order right now because the moment when I deliver the first one, the price is going up to $29.95 and to $39.95. So yeah, I invite you to order. Like, the link is down in the description. You can see it, you can go right there, and this is like really good time to take advantage of. So for those of you who are steady subscribers, please do that. It's great for you, it's great for me to support my channel. And those of you who are here the first time, you can actually check my timelines, and you can see I released them somewhere late in July, so you can see how they look like. Okay guys, so let's start with the reading. Okay Saggies, let's see what we get this month. Whoa, Spirit, Wisdom and Understanding. The next, oops, this one is jumping. Fire, very spirited fire and passion. It looks like somebody is waking up. And let's check this one. Let's check this one for Saggies for November. Saggy, November, and you got it. Look at that nothingness, that it was reversed. Are you guys being a little rebellious over here, my dear Saggies? It kind of like sounds to me that, look at what he's saying here. Spirit is moving in you. You are wisdom and understanding. Your sign rules philosophy. Your sign is the one that always explores. You probably like also history. You like to kind of like maneuver through things in a kind of like different fashion than most people. This is kind of like really interesting. Spirit, no matter what your belief system is, we all believe in spirit, right? It is like that energy that, if you think about someone, that you will cross their mind too. It's kind of like what really, the glue that really connects us. Yet, the actions and how these actions are being taken, as you can see it here, it's sort of like a mystery. It's a spiritual journey, and it is like really something about your development and your progression of things, and you'll be guys getting lots of insights, and they might be very occult, they might be very spiritual. It's kind of like really interesting. I was relaying to Scorpio, which is celebrating birthday, and by the way, we are going through Scorpio transition, about a dream that I had, which was a dream about dying, where I was about 30 years old in my dream, and it was some contagious disease, and I was just like simply going to hospice to die. I was not upset about it. It's just like being Aquarius, I had a high-tech dream, so I even had the fitness tracker. It was telling me, hey, you have less than 24 hours left, kind of a thing, right? So nothingness, as you can see, this card here is in entire black. So, and then there was light. That's basically where this is kind of like leading us, right? Because I see here fire, and I cannot see really any other sign that has moving fire. Yes, Leos and Aries are also fire signs, but not necessarily in this kind of like expression. To me, this is really talking about conquering something, right? Fire is, after all, something that we need to kind of like discipline in order to kind of like work for us. It is like something that can really hurt us, kind of like really severely, but we are certainly fascinated with it. Just like leave a child with matches and see where it goes, kind of a thing, right? So when we learn how to kind of like conquer like heat and light, then the life became possible. We could cook food, and cook food kind of like keep us satiated longer. We're staying warm. In colder climates, we are able to really grow, right? So this is really talking about inciting passions and kind of like having that openness. Like, look at the Spirit. It's kind of like as above, so below that I see in this card. And here, I don't know what, guys, turns you on. What are your passions? What basically is going to ignite your flame, that sort of like creative spark? Usually when cards like this show up, that tells me that maybe you have been going through a stagnant period. Maybe you had people, let me just zoom this in for you, that were maybe not necessarily either in sync with you. And it doesn't mean that they're not nice people. It could mean they're like great people, but it's simply, you know, maybe it's not making your heart beat faster over something in your life. And you being a fire sign, you need that motivation. You kind of like cannot be oppressed. And it really tells me that maybe you have been settled. I'm also seeing that could have been lots of domestic disputes, and even could be some of them that were leading to divorce. It was like lots of spirited, lots of strong feelings, and there was like lots of things that have been associated with sexuality, which kind of like was one way of expressing something. But it also tells me that something got sort of like blocked. I actually did meditate on your sign, and I really didn't think that I want to kind of like show you what I came up with, because the word that I got for you was loneliness. And I just really wanted to see how things are working out over here before we really go there. It tells me that maybe some of you felt, you know, neglected, maybe by the others, but I also feel that you feel you're neglecting yourself to many ways more ways than one, because nothingness, it's not nothingness, it's no thing kind of a thing, right? So that's kind of like being in the gap. Like, I mean, it's kind of like something that can be scary, it can be disorienting. And look at him, he is actually creating this fire in this darkness. You maybe almost like got trained. You know how they train those elephants in Asia? They kind of like tie them down so they would not run away after that conditioning. And it is unfortunate because they're conditioned so severely, they would not even run to rescue once the chains are released. And it happened that the fire kind of like killed many of these beautiful elephants like that, right? So where are you feeling constrained? What happened in your life that you lost that fire in your belly, right? It was like something about pure potential. This is like what existed before existed, kind of a thing. Maybe it goes all the way down to the childhood, when you enjoy playing with the airplanes, when you kind of like wanted to be a nurse. It was not about you wanting to be a nurse, and I'm not telling you go and become a nurse now. I'm just saying it was that spirit of helping. The emotion was behind that. Where did it go away, right? So this is really like, I mean, if you really want to go in the basics, this is really talking about Buddha's words, because this is kind of like a Buddhist kind of like philosophy guide. And I think it's like the word is shunyata, which kind of translates to nothingness. And nothingness is not such a beautiful word like shunyata, right? And it's not just nothing. It is kind of like something that is vibrant with all possibilities. This to me is a card about potential. And then there will be light, Sagittarians, right? That is like something that is unmanifested. It is something that you are really hesitating in moving into, in moving forward. There's like something that was supposed to happen. It could be something that is really difficult to make a decision. This, as I said, is really kind of like giving me that sense that somebody's supposed to leave a relationship, and now you feel obligated. You feel, well, this is a structure that you have to have. I need to take care of this. But then there is like that almost like animal calling, right? Because there is like a journey that you guys want to embark upon. There is a journey that you really want to live. And I really think you're not able to resist the call really about that. So let's set this aside. kind of like give you a little bit more space, and let's see what else we see for you for playfulness, Sagittarius. Oh, well, sounds like you. I said whoa because it's just the card that also shuffled out for Scorpio. And I was getting kind of like that Scorpionic energy. After all, we are going through Scorpio transit. And now, like, this loneliness is really kind of like starting to come to the fore. I have a feeling that maybe, guys, you have been seeking yourself. You're trying to figure out... I would not even say that you try to figure out who you are. I really feel you have lost yourself, and it like felt like you cannot find yourself, and that was like almost like a wasteland. But things are changing this month, and you guys, when the shift happens on the 16th, I believe, this month, you guys are going to be one of those signs that are going to be majorly affected. It's nothing going to be like it was before. Changes are going to be really, really profound. So it's going to be really, really great. I almost shuffled again. It's going to be really, really great to observe it. Bottom of the deck, lovely, 3 of C. And the first major below that is the moon reversed. Just as I said, it was the dark. It was tapping in the dark. And the moon reverses. It's basically talking about dawn is coming. And we are kind of finally seeing things. You guys are going to not to tap into that. You know, even blind chicken finds a grain. No. This is like you consciously looking for the exit. And you're saying, damn it, I'm going to knock the hole in this wall. I'm getting out. It's almost like the oppression that you felt yourself in it. Maybe you guys have been depressed. Maybe you guys, you know, have been going. I'm feeling your depression, but I'm also feeling that you have been in some kind of cocoon where it was the period where things were not necessarily you were protected in that protective cocoon, protective box, let's say, and you couldn't get out. It was just like everything that you were thinking you would get to the edge of this box and it would return you right back to the center problem. The moon is saying there's like finally something. There is finally kind of like ability to understand that there is like a need to move forward. And then 3 of C, look at that. Look at this company of the 2 cats and the seal. And you guys from all signs, also, you like strangers. This is like what really, really your sign is famous about. And definitely seal here is a stranger. We are seeing kind of like fire and water element over here. It could be that also 3 is a crowd, because the moon to me always talks about jealousy. It could have been somebody in a water sign who either is still there for you, who loves you, or whom you do not want to acknowledge any longer, even though it looks like they're like strongly standing there for you. I don't know if there was like somebody who kind of like just did put their finger into whole thing, and looks like everybody was on the edge. It sounds like that there is a taming of that situation. So the center over here, you have 5 of fire. It is reversed though. 5 of fire is like when a nice innocent game play just goes out of hand, and when the spark just like jumps out and somebody's get burned, right? It's exactly what's happening, that instead of like a game, you know, like sometimes people like to joke, for example, and this joking becomes rough, and then ha 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 and nobody else laughing. kind of a things when the game starts to be really serious and it's like far from funny. And it could be like that you're feeling that kind of like taste, kind of like overall. And you have Ace of Earth, and it's reversed again. Ace of Earth, and look at it, like big pause. Somebody left a mark. You were like driven strongly about leaving your mark. This could be your job. This could be your children. This could be just like simply the way you approach people, strangers. You like to experience different people, but it looks like in this period of time, your open-mindedness might sort of like come in a way. And Ace of Earth really talks about something long term that has been going on that might actually just rip apart. And will rip apart because it is a time. So fire and earth, when fire burns, just as I told you, it replenishes the earth. So it is actually something that, it's brewing. Like something didn't grow anymore, and because of it, it's either has to be completely shaken and kind of like refreshed, or it is a time to kind of like look for the new light. So what has happened? See, Tom, there was like some kind of like flirting, there was like some kind of like innocence. This really kind of like connects to me with this card, playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So spirit again mentioned, you guys are going to really feel intuitive messages and dreams and things telling you lots of things. Maybe you have set a path for you and you said, that's for life, I'm staying here, like my forever home, my forever path. But it looks like life had different plans, because on that path, maybe you started to feel very lonely. Maybe it wasn't what you were hoping to be. Maybe things got tough. Maybe, there is like no meeting of the minds. There is like somebody definitely, this see Tom. That's like some seductive energy, but an energy that is like so welcome. It's like that fresh breeze where like you just like feel enthused, like somebody who makes you feel young and wanted. And that's again, as I'm telling you, like there is like that essence of maybe breaking down the kind of like solid norms, societal norms, and maybe kind of like paving your own path. You have probably been in that productive boss. Well, that was like Freudian slip, lapsus linguae. It's probably having something to do with your work as well. Maybe there were issues in your workplace as well. Maybe you were too spirited. Maybe you wanted to add that fire, but you were in an environment that maybe didn't kind of like value that, and sort of like square peg in a round hole kind of a thing. In the past, Three of Sky. You guys have been hurt. And I'm again seeing this, the three, just like the one that we have here. And again, it keeps telling me there were more than two people. There were more than one person. There were like possibly three people here. Three of Sky really talks about things breaking. Like, look at this. Things were fragile to start with. Look at this. This is going to be knocked over, right? That's going to be knocked over. It's just like we are waiting when this one is just about to fall. Look at what happened. Lots of damage happened. And there we have like this wind chimes. It was time. Wind chimes is like kind of like creating vibration in the air. And that vibration was a wake-up call for you. There is like something that is leading to something that cannot continue. Remember, Scorpio season is about refreshment. It's about kind of like moving in a new direction. You have memories of something, because look at this, like these two almost like connect like a painting. It's almost like they're on the same shore, right? That, there's like this playfulness over here going on. There is like romance. When was the last time, guys, that you ask yourself, when you were romantic, when were you romantic the last time? What kind of like did you do that was not a gift that you had to buy? Literally, that with your actions, you did something. And the action is not paying the bill either. Action would be, planning something to take somebody for a walk, where you maybe are having a bouquet of flowers, or not even bouquet, like something really special for this person. I kind of like almost looks to me that you're tearing the old, you're starting the new. You kind of like got stuck in some kind of like very stagnant energy, and that stagnant energy was like really pushing you and pressing you really, really hard. You have here Sea Queen, and it is reversed. Sea Queen reversed is, I don't know, it could be a water sign in your life, or it could be simply a person who could be a little bit clingy, because look at this. I see one person wanting it very much, and you wanting one person, but not the other. And that's what I kept seeing from before. There could be like other people putting their finger in this whole situation. And you have made your choice from my previous readings, right? You have made a choice. Your choice was traditional. But I really think this is changing this time around. This is changing. This is like you are going into, what have I done? Because it looks like you did the right thing, and still everybody is unhappy. You're still not able to fulfill other people's needs. There is lots of arguing that I see over here in your surroundings. You're just trying to position yourself all the time, but at the same time you're saying, I just cannot take this anymore. You know what they say? As long as you argue your interest at the moment, when you stop arguing, you're done. Put a fork in me, I'm done. And then you have Two of Earth. Somebody juggled here. Look at that. How long do you think that's going to stay here in balance, right? Somebody was juggling things over here, and that could be that you're trying to create your new life. When I see this card in the regular decks, we see this kind of like person, kind of balancing these two parts, telling us about life. But here, look, this kitty, look at that face. He's not unhappy. He is not happy. It just is. Look at the paws. Cat put paws in like that when actually they want to sleep, when they want to relax. Obviously, this most likely wouldn't be relaxing, but this simply could be Isaac Newton, that the apple fell, and that was the symptom of gravity. And what gravity does, gravity makes things fall, right? So this is reversed. Maybe something had to fall that didn't. As I said, it looks like you were trying and building something in the past. You were almost like going against your heart's desire, and that would make sense that we have here that Moon card, which kind of like did talk about going through this darkness and trying to find the light, and not able to do that. So the only way, from what I see over here, is for you to remove yourself from the situation, which would leave you in a situation where you need to kind of like put so many elements together, and kind of like, what do I do for a living? What do I do with my friends? Who is staying? Who is going? It's going to be almost like remake, not facelift, remake. You will tear all the kitchen out. You're going to tear all the stuff from your place, and kind of like start moving in a new direction. Your feelings, the wheel, that card belongs to you, and it is reversed. It's a karma card, guys. Karmic period. It is something really deep. Look at the kitty. We know that when they get into this kind of situation, everything gets ripped. And it's kind of like really weird, because in the dream that I told you about, at one point when I got this like tracker, which kind of told me the time is up, it kind of like had this like fuzziness underneath. So the wheel is basically telling us that life goes in phases, right? Sometimes you go up. When you're on the top, you enjoy it. This is that sense of, yay, I'm in the zone, I'm winning. But then, it's kind of like fades away, and then poof, I have to start again. Why? Kind of a thing. It's just a cyclical nature. It comes around. You're feeling that you have been given kind of like handed cards that were really, really bad. You feel that you are definitely unhappy. You are experiencing almost like blaming fate. You're blaming things done to you. And weirdly enough, you're blaming this person. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot interpret this any other way, and I'm sure you're going to, guys, straighten me out. There have been, for the energy that I'm getting here, it could be either another person or you have been rejected by someone who actually meant a lot to you. And it could be a situation which involved something traditional, something untraditional. Maybe you had two partners. Maybe somebody had two partners. And maybe there was like already like way out, but some kind of like cooler head prevailed. And kind of like you went back to tried and true, or somebody went back to tried and true. And maybe you feel betrayed by the person who did that. Maybe you feel that somehow, they stained you. Somehow they affected, your thing. Like, it's like me watching tennis, and I love certain tennis players, and then I'm watching, they're losing. After that point, they were winning. It's, I'm like bringing them bad luck. So I kind of like turn on television and walk away, and, just to see if their luck is going to turn around. It's kind of like one of those, maybe a little superstitious thing. We all do that sort of a thing, right? So maybe you're feeling kind of like stuck in that kind of like cycle. I'll tell you what this is. Guys, this is a call for you, asking you to cut that, doing the same things over and over and over again. You need to do things the right way. And the right way is not Call of Duty. The right way is like not following your heart. The right way is like something that you really think through, where your passion gets ignited, right? Where you feel that you are creating that right thing is different for everybody. And that's what makes life interesting. This is your environment, and it's Seven of Sky reversed. I'm so glad that this is reversed. Look at that. There is like this sidetracking, and I'll just have to say birds, and Safi is going to come here, so I'm going to be quiet. But look at this, bird in hand is better than two on a basically in a tree. Well, this little mousey here, as you can see, is being stolen right now, right? It's kind of like deception. It is like somebody who, again, had better things to do than you. Maybe you haven't been somebody's first choice, or vice versa. Maybe you didn't find somebody the first choice, and somebody decided to kind of like cut their losses, or somebody just like taken away a piece of you, which has been very, very important. When this card reverses, we are really talking over here about aha moment. It's somebody that this entire situation was connecting was, oh my God, that was it. This is a good card. It kind of like sets you free, because whether or not you want to, you're kind of linked karmically with someone over here. Clearly that the situation was really, really weird. I can see love here, guys. I can see something so effortless, so nice, but it couldn't happen. So finally there is like this realization. Maybe they are realizing, maybe they are like really thinking about you all this time, and they're not able to let go. Maybe they are like simply obsessing about this whole situation that took like this bad turn. Now, like, there's like this understanding which is cutting those cords and giving you both ability to kind of like push this forward. And there is another seven, and we have Seven of Fire. And look at this, it's standing your ground. It's basically standing in spite of naysayers, standing in spite of whoever want to have. You are in the power position. Yes, maybe there are like quite a few people standing like after you. And what do we see here? Three different people. And this could be simply that, you have maybe traditional attitudes that are clashing with your attitudes. And it is really, really time to assert yourself. This is a very, very important card. And like, look at this, like with these two fire cards over here, it looks something that is really linking to the past. And I don't know who here did it. It looks like somebody strayed away from a relationship, or maybe even didn't. It could be that something was already dead. Sometimes people stay in relationships way past their due date, and it is an unfortunate thing, because I think both of you think the same way. We kind of like assume, especially if we are with somebody for a long time, they also know. It's kind of like you turn into impassionate, kind of like functioning mechanism. Let's get kids to the school, etc. And then somebody strays away, and you go, well, wait a minute, that was not part of a deal. Where, things need to be cleared. There are like things over here that right now is giving you an opportunity to sort of like remove certain patterns. So let's see where this is heading. Wow, Six of Sky. This is good card. Six of Sky, as you can see, somebody, like after, it looks like, I'll be honest with you, there are arguments. And you are at this part, this month, emotionally spending time in emotional development. You're going back in a place where you're loving, where you're playful, where you're careless, not careless, carefree rather to say, where it was somebody who gave you like that, almost like life, like with their touch, with their look. If not connecting with them, then you're going to connect with that spirit that basically they've given you. So they're not lost. There was like something that you received as a gift. You so far just seen the surface of the gift, but you didn't open the box. And box was something that you need to open and kind of like have to create your kind of like way out of it. That's why you have that no thingness. It is for you to create your own world. This means sometimes leaving some people behind. It means understanding when the fight stops. Like, when is enough? Look at him. He has his scratches, but look at that determination. I'm out of here. I'm done. You guys, kill yourself. I really don't care. Look at that. The first line. But there is somebody who's realizing, I gotta get out of the situation. It is kind of like that ultimate thinking, bridge over troubled waters. You're kind of like moving in a new direction. So I can see lots of thinking over here, but I can also see lots of emotion. So this is kind of like that achieving balance, and it's going to be teeter-tatter this entire month. So buckle up, guys. But one thing is really, really important. Then your passions are going to arouse. Your passions are going to get to where they are supposed to be, and that's what makes you alive. The moment when you have that, it's kind of like loneliness is just going to evaporate. It's just going to be woof. It's kind of gone. So let me get one more card for you, Sagis. And I would love to hear your opinions on my dream. I would love to hear opinions over here. You'll be getting lots of dream messages. You will see quote, you will hear something that's going to remind you of something, and you'll be going in that direction. It's going to be a really, really important month. Again, guys, if you want a reading with me, please, check my website, cattarot.ca, and please order my annual taroscopes. They are really, really good. So, if I may say so, Sagittarians, can you give me the final word for Sagis for 2018 November? Okay, you want to come out unexpected visitors. Yay! It's again card that really talks about positioning. And let's find what it says. I'll read it for you. I love the card. It's almost like a dreamland where, as I was telling you, you will kind of like open the door to that playfulness, to that magic, Alice in the Wonderland kind of life. So this is what it says. If you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles. Detours, surprises, and paradigm shifts. Expect the unexpected. No matter how detailed your plans are and how clear you believe the road ahead to be, there are times when the best plans are waylaid by unforeseen circumstances. At first, detours may seem inconvenient, but the surprise turn of events signals that the adventure of life is beginning to get interesting. No one can plan for synchronicity, for fate and destiny to meet, except spirit. Who knows what you can't comprehend for now? Life is full of surprises, so stay on your toes and enjoy this exciting new adventure you weren't expecting. There's a plan for your life that might not match up with your agenda. So guys, you are realizing that you're missing a nutrient which is necessary for you to feel that you need to get through. You need that nutrient, and you are really going to work to get it. You need to feed your own internal fire. And this could be literal visitors. It could be that you are dealing with somebody who is long distance. It could be that you're giving, just like last crack. But this could be simply, like, look at this whimsical. We have, what the heck is this? Is this a mouse, or this is another rabbit over here? It's a little mouse, I think. And then we have a rabbit. So it's going to be something that is going to just transform you in a completely different world. Look at that gate. It's very intricate. It's the world of creativity. It's the world of imagination. And it is a very kind of like spiritual approach to everything. So my dear Sagittarians, contact me via cattarot.ca if you want my reading. The information is down in the description. And I really hope you have a wonderful month. You know that I love you. Bye for now.